Welcome to Early Nights. It is my mission to help you guys fall back in love with sleep, but we also like to touch on all things health, travel, because as you know, life comes in the way of sleep. And so you want to touch as many areas as possible, get well rounded. Guys, if you're interested, go and look up why we sleep, find out really how important it is. Even missing an hour a day can dramatically affect your body. Today, I have joining me um, based plate girl all the way from Australia. Is it Beatrice?
Yes, Beatrice.
Beatrice, it's
That's
really nice
correct.
to be with you. Thanks for making the time.
Thank you for having me on here. This is great. I'm so happy.
Yeah, I came across your page and it's just a refreshing message with someone with good energy. And I was
Oh,
like, let's see if we can get her on the show.
great. No, when I saw your message come through, I was like, yeah, no, I was like, wow, I didn't realize my account. I was surprised at the amount of reach that my account gets. Like I get a lot of people from different countries. So I was like, this is exciting.
Yeah, it's good stuff. And it's fun to see um, a good message really hitting the mainstream now. And so when I looked at some
Yeah.
of your videos, I'm like totally refreshing, good attitude. It's not dividing, it's not arguing, nothing like that.
Yeah.
And your editing's very good as well.
Oh, thank you. It's honestly, my Instagram, I don't plan anything. I just have an idea and I'll film it as I go along. And I think that editing has just been something that I've learned along the way. So,
I was actually wondering if you had a script or anything because it seems really well thought out.
no, honestly, and sometimes in my quiet moments, I think to myself, what if I just wake up one day and I have no more ideas?
Hmm.
Because I don't plan ahead. Maybe I'll get one or two reels or a carousel planned for the next day, but everything I do as I go along. So,
Well, good. How long have you been posting?
so I started this account on I think March 7th this year. So
Wow. And
still fairly new.
I'm looking at it right now and it's
Yeah.
you're about to hit 4K. So
Yes, I saw that. I
so
know it's grown a lot. It's grown a lot.
so just earlier this year.
Yeah, in March.
And what made you want to do that?
Well, so I'd say around December, January, I really started getting into making my food look really beautiful. And I'd put all these plates together with like sardines and like brightly colored vegetables and things like that. And I would take all these great photos of my food and I'd always post them to my story on my private account. And I was just like posting something every day. And I was like, wow, like, you can really eat good food every day. And it just gave me so much joy. So then I was like, okay, why don't I just make a separate account for it? And so originally it was just photos of like the plates of my food and things like that. And then it just morphed into me talking about my opinions on things. And so, yeah.
So for you to start that, it's only been a couple of months and you're already at
Yeah.
4K. So by the end of the year, where do you think you're going to be?
Honestly, I have no idea. Like as I said to you this morning, I go into everything with an open mind.
Hmm.
What was that this morning? I can't remember, but I don't know. I really just go into things with an open mind. I have no idea where this will lead me. It could wound up to be a big waste of time,
Hmm.
but
It doesn't
who
look that
knows?
way.
I mean, I don't know. Like honestly, it could because, you know, the thing is, obviously I'm very health conscious, but then with this account, I'm having to spend a lot of time on my phone, which
Yeah.
kind of contradicts like this healthy lifestyle. So I think that's something where I'm like, it could just wound up to be a royal waste of time and I'm just on my phone, but who
That's
knows?
true. That's true. I did take 2 years off social media and I used to do podcasting, things like that. And
Yeah.
some of the best times of my life for sure. But then you're always drawn because not everyone around you is into the same things. So it's nice to talk to
Yeah.
different people. It's
Yeah.
definitely conflicting for sure. But I was going to ask you, I
Oh,
guess,
yeah.
I guess you don't have a cookbook then.
No, so I do not have a cookbook, but it is something that I'm working on. I've just been so time poor at the moment because I've been working full time
Hmm.
and like on my days off, all I want to do is just spend time in the kitchen or time with my family or go exercise. But I need to start hustling on that. I did make a little cover for my cookbook, and it'll be titled Food for My Future Family. So that is underway.
Awesome. You have to let, yeah, I'll definitely be getting that for my friends and
Oh,
family. I was
great.
thinking about them. Like, if she has one, I'm
Oh,
going to buy 10 just to support
oh,
and get a couple of people
that's,
eating better because it's an important message. I think that we
I
live in a
agree.
very orthorexic world. Either it's people
Yeah.
just let everything go and eat McDonald's all day, or they're
Yeah.
starving themselves in the name of health. And so your approach seems
Mm.
very like sustainable. Would that be fair to say?
Mhm. Yeah, I 100% agree. And I think that, now more than ever, we have so much access to information, health information, and just like even accessibility to food, like whereas our ancestors in the past, they had to rely on what was in season, what was harvested, what was local.
Yep.
Whereas now, we have so much, like if you live in an inner city area, suburban area, your accessibility to kinds of foods is much greater than our ancestors. So I think, people really need to educate themselves on like proper nutrition and not just like another thing is not just like hitting your macros and eating all this ultra processed protein stuff, but eating like natural sources of protein. So
Right.
that's
And
another big
I
thing,
hear
yeah.
that Australia has some of the best meat in the world. Is that true?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. Australia is very big, like our agriculture, farming, things like that. Maybe there aren't a lot of farmers these days, unfortunately, but
Mm.
I'd say in the past, that was, yeah, pretty big in Australia. Like I come from on my dad's side, 90 years history of like cattle farming, sheep farming in Western Queensland. So um, yeah, it's a
Wow.
pretty big part of Australia's history, the farming.
And I think I saw a clip. Sorry if I'm whispering. It's late here. So for you,
Yeah,
it's 4 p.m. For here, it's 2
yeah.
a.m. right now. Um,
Oh, I'm so sorry that you're up
no, I
there.
wanted us to make this happen, but
Oh,
I'm going
thank
to speak
you.
closer to the mic just so I don't wake up
Okay.
neighbors and things.
Yeah,
I
that's
did see
okay.
in one of your clips saying that your mom had been somewhat of an inspiration being healthy herself. And is that where a lot of
Yes.
this came from for you?
Yes. And also my dad as well. Just for context, so my dad is a dentist. So growing up, just oral health education was just ingrained, and I have three older brothers. It was just ingrained in us as children, and understanding like tooth decay and how sugar can contribute to that. Like we weren't starved of sugar and treats and things like that, but I'd say my parents were definitely health conscious. And then my mum in particular, she's very fit. She
Mm.
would do a lot of marathons and things growing up. She always went to the gym. She always ate well. And like when I was in primary school, my brothers and um, I remember going to school and just being so embarrassed because my lunchbox always had like healthy food in it, like a banana, an apple, just like really boring, healthy food, I guess. And then, my friends would always have like the nice little packaged cookies and chips and things like that. I'd be like, oh, like my parents are so annoying. They don't give us any nice food. But like now that I'm older and I look back at that, I am so grateful. So grateful.
Yeah, it goes in cycles because when my mom's side, there's 8 brothers and sisters, they grew up and they were embarrassed of their school lunch. And it was like the pumpernickel bread, it was like the fresh stuff and all this, and everyone else had the processed food. And then I go to school and it's like complete junk and things like that. And everyone's used to
Mm,
that. Now you're cool if you pack like a healthier lunch. It's like evolves over time, I think. Because
yeah.
like the mainstream thing is to like eat healthier. I think it's
Yeah,
just
I
it's
think
more
so.
broad than ever.
Yeah. Yeah, I would agree. I would agree.
I believe when I first messaged you, you talked about having some health issues early on. Was that you? I was talking. Okay.
Yeah.
Please tell me
Yeah.
a little bit about that. Like what was going on?
Yeah. So, yeah, there's a bit of law there. So basically, um, when I was 13 years old in year seven, I started to develop bulimia. So, like purging and binging. And I had that for a couple of years and really just struggled with like my body image. So, like, for more context, I was a competitive gymnast growing up. I was very fit, very healthy, very active. And then we had some things going on at home, and I think my sort of coping mechanism for that was the eating disorder and just really poor body image and self-esteem. And then as I got older, it sort of morphed more into restrictive eating and things like that. And so by the time I was about 16, it got to the point where I stopped menstruating and I
Mm.
wasn't getting my period. And it was affecting my heart. I had postural tachycardia. And one day at
What is
school,
that?
oh, sorry. So postural tachycardia is basically when you stand up, your heart rate goes up,
Mm.
like real, and you stand up and you faint or you feel dizzy or you feel the palpitations and things like that. So my heart was really working overtime to compensate for what the stress that my body was going through. Um, and yeah, so I really just wasn't well physically or mentally.
And you were just a
And
kid.
then
You were still growing up, developing everything.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I was 16 and I had a panic attack at school one day. And then I went to the doctor's and then she did a physical exam and she said to my mum, you need to take her to the hospital. So we went there and then I ended up staying in the children's hospital for a couple of weeks to get treated for the eating disorder. And yeah.
Wow. I have a friend who works at the Children's Hospital of Philadelphia, and they get a lot of these
Yeah.
kids who are anorexic and bulimic and things. And he
Yeah.
said that they're not even allowed to get up to get their food because they'll constantly mentally they'll want to get up, get up, get up to try to burn calories.
Yes, 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 yes. So when I was there, you are monitored 24 hours. So you're monitored by a nurse. You have to be showered by the nurse, bathroom door open. I remember laying in bed. Oh,
Hmm.
sorry, that was my dog in the background.
That's fine. I barely
Um,
heard anything.
Knocky, stop. Um, Laying in the bed, you couldn't have your knees up. Like they had to be down because it looked like you were trying to exercise or something.
Hmm.
Um, so yeah, you're constantly being watched, constantly.
Yeah. And so you were able to come out of that.
Yeah, because like I just remember thinking, and it was a really, really weird time in my life because, um, being in this hospital, you're constantly being watched. You're in this clinical environment. Like God bless, I had my family come and visit me every so often. So fortunate to have that. But I spent a lot of time alone and a lot of time reflecting. And I just remember thinking to myself, like, I could not comply to the treatment and refuse food or try and purge or whatever. But I just remember thinking to myself, like, that's only going to result in me having to stay in hospital longer.
Yeah.
And I
Right.
was like, if I want to get out, if I want to leave, I have to comply. I have to eat the food, I have to do the treatment. Um, and so yeah, I think that like my brain started to flip a switch there. And I thought to myself, um, I remember thinking to myself, what's the next logical step of having an eating disorder?
Yeah.
Like you you get so unwell that what you go in and out of hospital for the rest of your life until you get better, or you pass away. And I said, well, neither of those two options is something that I want. Um, and I remember thinking about, I really want to be a mother one day. That's like my biggest dream. And I remember thinking to myself, how could I be so selfish to ruin my fertility and hate myself so much to the point where I can't have kids? So I think
Hmm.
that was a switch that was flipped
And
when
so
I was in
this
hospital.
was made in the hospital, and so
So
you were.
the realization about like motherhood, that
Hmm.
was shortly before, like right before I got admitted to hospital. Like a few days before, I was looking at myself in the mirror and I just didn't recognize myself. I looked really sick and I just remembered thinking to myself, like, how could I be so selfish to ruin my body that I couldn't have, like, that potentially I wouldn't be able to have kids in the future?
Yeah.
And then a few days later, hospital. And then I started to think a little bit more rationally, like, yeah, this is not a way to live your life at all.
And I'm sure a lot of women know this, but I don't know if the guys do. When a woman is really malnourished, like she can't get pregnant, she can't have kids, right?
Exactly, because, and and I really got into women's health after this because if you're not getting your period, it means you're not ovulating, you're not releasing an egg, which means you're not fertile, which means you can't have a baby. And
Mm.
it's like, I think unfortunately for a lot of women, they don't think about the importance of menstruation, ovulation, and their period until it's time to have a baby. But, you have to pay attention to these things now because it's only going to get more difficult if you've been ignoring these signs and symptoms when you're young. Um, so I think, yeah, if I didn't address that issue then, I think it would have been much more difficult further in the future.
So then you started to comply. How
Yeah.
long were you in there?
So I was in there for 3 weeks.
Okay.
And then, so I was in year 10 at the time. I was in there for 3 weeks. And then when I came out, I missed the term of school. And I was just at home sort of recovering and doing the discharge treatment plan and to get on top of the eating and stuff like that. And there was a lot of progress that happened during that time. It was pretty spectacular.
And how old are you now?
Have a guess.
Um, 25.
Really? Do I look that old?
Just mature.
I'm 21. I
Take it
turned
as a
21 in
compliment. Oh,
April.
okay. Yeah, well, it makes
Yeah.
sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
So now did you go to college?
So I'm in university at the moment. I'm in
Okay.
my last semester of nursing. So I'll graduate in
Mhm.
December.
So now you went
Yeah.
from being in the hospital to now going to be helping people that are in the hospital, taking care of them, and you're
I
feeding
know, go
yourself
figure.
and you're preaching to eat well.
Go figure. Sometimes I think about this and I go, there is so much foreshadowing in my life that it's crazy. To think that, because I'm 21 now, and this was only when I was 16 back in 2021. So it's really not that long ago. And it was around this time as well. It was like May, June, July that this was all happening. And to think that now I have sort of a small platform on social media where I promote healthy eating and taking control of your health and doing things to boost healthy self-esteem. Like I don't know, it's crazy.
No, it's awesome. So you're actually you using that uh, pain and the things you went through to help other people and really just help yourself too. Um,
Yeah.
one of the issues I had, I know I sent you this photo. This is when I was at my sickest
Yes.
here.
Yes, I
And
saw that.
during this time, I could not sleep. And so it was like 3 weeks straight of me barely sleeping at all,
Yeah.
waking up with kidney pain, going to the hospital. And now I work for Sleep Company and I
Yeah.
focus on a lot of this stuff too. So it's
Yeah.
funny how that works. Talk to me a
Yeah.
little bit about what you're drinking.
What I'm drinking.
Yeah, are you drinking something right now?
I am so right here. I
Yeah.
have a peppermint tea, and it does get featured on my account every so often. I do love peppermint tea. Um, the taste or spearmint tea, it's really, I don't know, it's a nice comfort drink. So I
And
do
tell me
drink that
about
quite.
the aesthetic. You have a certain kind of aesthetic going on. It
Yes.
reminds me of like my grandmother. She had all the
Yes.
blue and white plates
Yep.
and the china and the fine china. Now everything's
One
paper
sec.
plates and plastic.
Yep. This is something that certainly features a lot in my account.
Hmm. Yeah.
The red and white gingham. So this aesthetic and all these items and stuff, it's my mum's doing.
Mm.
She is, yeah, she is very creative. I've definitely emulated a lot of her creative traits. Um, yeah, so she has been such a great role model for me. Um, just really beautiful woman. Yeah. So
There's something,
that's the aesthetic. So a lot of her stuff.
well, it makes it very homey and cozy.
Yeah,
I've noticed
exactly.
that.
I know. I know. And the apartment that I live in,
Mm.
it's quite modern. So, and I think with a lot of modern builds and architecture, it's very sterile. And I grew up in a really old house it was a heritage listed house in the country. And it was full of character and all these nice, beautiful things. So I think it's nice that, now living in the city in a more modern area, to have these little traditional touches. It's very homely.
Yeah, I wanted to pull up a photo here also. Have you, I don't know if you've seen it, but have you take a look? Because I went to this authentic Polish place here, and so they put a lot of those touches as well, like with the blue, and then
Yeah,
you got the flowers, and the place was like very authentic. And so a friend of mine took
yeah.
me for my birthday.
Hey,
Um,
Noki, sorry, just excuse me
oh,
for 1 second. My dog's
no
running a bit
worries.
crazy. Noki, stop, stop. I might just pop him on my lap just because
What's his name?
he's his name is Gnocchi, like the food.
Like the food, gnocchi? Okay.
Yeah, Gnocchi.
Is he a puppy?
So he's a year and a half now. He's a
Hmm.
Cocker Spaniel poodle. But yeah, he's
He
also my
features
sous chef.
in your photos too. I think I saw
He
that.
does. Yeah, he does.
But yeah, like when I went to the place, very authentic. You come in, the chef wants to come and talk to you, and they lay out the
I
tables
love
nicely. It
that.
just really enriches the experience.
Oh, I agree. And it's, yeah, very, very European, that sort of village-esque sort of feel, lots of color, intimate sort of environments. Yeah, I love all that stuff. It's beautiful.
Are you big on travel yourself? Have you done a lot of traveling? I know you're young, so.
So I've done a little bit of travel like with my family growing up. But I'd say the most significant trip I've done recently, I went to Europe last year.
Mm.
So I went to we started in Prague in Czech Republic.
Mhm.
Then we went to I'm going to be saying these incorrectly because I'm Australian and the
Yeah,
pronunciation is not
no
correct.
worries.
Um, Krakow in Poland.
Oh, very
Is
cool.
that how you say
Yeah,
it?
it's close. Yeah.
Yeah. And then we went to Budapest in Hungary and then finished off in Vienna in Austria.
Which one did you like the best?
So, well, honestly, when I saw Prague, I thought it was like a fairy tale. It
Mhm.
is so beautiful, so beautiful. The architecture, the people, just we went in September, so it was still, it was warm, but there was a little chilly breeze and it was great. I loved Prague and then obviously Poland. Huge fan of Poland, so had a great
Really
time there.
awesome. Yeah,
Yeah.
even Hungary. So I'm half Hungarian, and that's a big one for me. I never
Oh,
been
nice.
there. So how did you
Yeah.
like that?
Well, okay.
I heard the food's
Um, so
expensive. I don't know if that's true.
so we stayed, yeah, so we were in Budapest and yeah, very beautiful architecture, lots of great history. But something that we did notice, there was quite a lot of gypsies, homeless
Mm,
people. I saw a
really?
lot of like, yeah, I was surprised because I thought, Budapest was more, well, Hungary's more conservative. Like you can definitely feel that conservative vibe when you're in Poland. So I was like, oh, potentially quite similar. But I was kind of shocked, you're seeing a lot of people who are obviously taking drugs and stuff on the street. And I was like, don't feel
Oh
safe.
no. No, that's no good.
No, and
I thought it was
especially
like Poland where it's like super clean and
no,
safe and
I
no
I
drugs.
know, and honestly, some places are, but where we stayed in the heart of Budapest, it was a little bit dirty. And then we went to I can't remember the name. It was some historical site, but do you know Matthias, Code Victorian?
I don't know.
He's a conservative content creator and he does all the like Save Europe stuff.
Okay.
But I met him there.
Oh, cool. How was
Yeah.
that?
It was good. It was nice. It was cool to meet him.
So in probably October, September, I'm gonna be going to Netherlands and
Oh,
then
nice.
Slovakia and then Hungary
Beautiful.
and then Poland for
Yep.
2 months. Um,
Oh gosh, you'll have a great time.
yeah, and I'm working on my citizenship because my father's
Yeah.
from there, so I'm working on that second
Oh, nice.
passport. But
Yeah.
then if I have to leave the Schengen region for whatever, I for a couple months, I'm going to go to Georgia and check that out.
Mhm.
My last guest I
Yeah.
had on Emily Escape with Emily. This
Yep.
woman, she's been to 185 countries, and she said the best food
Wow.
in the entire world that she had was from Georgia. So
Really?
I got to go and try
Yeah.
it.
No, that sounds like a great place to visit.
Yeah, and I heard they had the oldest wine culture. Like they fight with Italy on whose wine is older.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So tell me a little about Poland. Were you just there for like a week or a couple days?
So we stayed in Poland, like Krakow. Yeah, we were there for about 5 nights or five
Wow.
days. And absolutely loved it. Had such a great time. And I think the most significant thing for me when we were there was just how safe it felt.
Yeah.
Um, so safe, you know. So I live in Brisbane in Australia, and you know, as a woman, if you were to go to the CBD at night time, or there's a place called Fortitude Valley, and it's kind of the night precinct or whatever.
Yeah.
Um, as a woman, it's not very safe to go there or at night time, or at least you don't feel very safe because, you know, there are a lot of unsavory characters out at night time. But when we were in Krakow, you know, we'd be walking back from dinner at 10 o'clock at night, and I just felt so safe, so safe. And I think that is something I will always remember about it.
Isn't that a crazy thing though? Like
Mm.
I'm 34. I
Yeah.
remember growing up in my town felt like that. And now it doesn't feel like that in the United States.
Like it used to feel safe and then now it doesn't.
It just, yeah, it used to feel just super safe. You knew your neighbors, you know, you even know the local store owners, things like that. Now you don't
Oh,
even know anyone in your neighborhood. It's like
yeah,
completely different people. Everyone's moved out.
yeah, yeah.
Um, and I've told this story like a million times, but I went to Poland in 2014, and I thought
Mhm.
every city was dirty, and I thought every city was dangerous and disgusting. And I go there, I'm like, wait a minute, the trains are all clean, everything runs on time, there's no trash, it's colorful. Because I grew up in Philly,
Yeah,
so
yeah,
just a mind
yeah,
messes with your mind a little bit. It's like you don't have to live this way, even for a female to be like, or a woman, it felt safe, you know, because it's like
yeah,
we're told through our media it is just dangerous for women. Men are just
yeah,
dangerous to women. And then you go to a place
yeah.
like that and it's like you're saying the opposite.
Exactly. And I think, you know, you I think it's a cultural thing. I think it's a
Yeah.
cultural thing. Like I think that kind of behavior is just not acceptable there.
Yeah.
Um, and I know they're really tough on their immigration policy and things like that. So I think that definitely helps. Um,
And they're kind of famous
but
for it now.
yeah,
Even in the last year, I feel like everyone knows Poland now, whereas before they didn't.
oh yeah, I know.
For sure.
But I think it's because yeah, they've taken a hard stance on it. And I think it has definitely had some benefits on preserving a lot of safety and culture within. So
100%. And there's so much history
yeah.
and culture, you know, you got to protect some of that.
Oh, I agree. And for a country that's so it's small and it's bordered very closely, you know, they have every right to preserve their culture.
Yeah.
Um, and, you know, that's something that I've always really admired about Europe is that it has so many, it's so diverse, so many beautiful, unique cultures.
Mm.
And yeah, and it's worth preserving. You know, you look at that continent and consider how many different countries and cultures are within that and how you know, different they are as well.
Yeah. Very
And
different.
it's just like, very different language, dress, food, habits, whatever. And it's, you know, it's really beautiful. So I think it is definitely worth preserving.
And how did you like the food there? I don't know if I asked that already. Was
Oh,
the food
so
good?
the food that I was obsessed with, and I haven't made it yet, and I really need to. I need to do it on my account. The pierogies.
Mm.
I'm a huge pierogi fan. They were amazing. They're just like these little dumpling kind of things.
Yeah.
Um, so delicious.
I
Yeah.
remember my father telling me like a lot of the things that are allowed in our food in the United States over in Poland, they're not even allowed in like deodorant, makeup, let alone the food. And so
Yeah.
I seen this guy, he tries burgers from all over the world and he goes to Poland, he's eating out at the gas stations. He's like, these are just as good quality as like a nice restaurant in the
Yeah.
US out of a gas station because they're not using
I
the
know.
chemicals and the hormones.
Oh, it's horrible. Just, America, Australia, UK, even just, yeah, some of the food, the ultra processed food is a huge problem.
And
Huge
we talked
problem.
about the safety for women, but like they poison the air, they poison the food. It's like it's amazing we're still
I
here.
know you're attacked at all angles. Like, just let me live. Like,
Yeah.
I actually saw this video this morning. Like, I don't know what country it was. Maybe it was Switzerland or something.
Mm.
But it was this like video montage of these people living in the countryside, and it was like filming them like farming and then preparing a meal on the table. And there was just some like beautiful like folk music in the background. And I just thought, what a simple and beautiful and unpoisonous life that must
Yeah.
be.
Well,
Um, it's great.
I remember getting off the plane in Hawaii. So I went to Hawaii a couple different times, and for
Yeah.
3 days I'm coughing and I'm coughing, and by day three, my lungs just cleared, and I felt like I could breathe for the first time. And it's like there was no streaks in the sky, there's no pollution, just fresh air, clean ocean, and it's like I didn't even know this is how you're supposed to feel. It's like quitting
I
smoking.
know, I know, like, and there are so many people that, from Australia or people that I know, and they go on their Europe holiday and they come back thinner
Mm,
or they come back feeling less bloated, and because the quality of the food is just, it's much better.
yeah. I want to hear a little bit
Mm.
about Australia because I have a lot
Okay.
of friends in Canada and I have a lot of
Oh
friends in
yeah.
Australia. And so I
Oh
feel like
yeah.
the Australians are like the cooler versions of the Canadians because they're both also
Oh, okay.
nice. They're also nice
Oh,
and
really?
friendly, but the Australians are all like surfers. They're tan, they're tall, they're strong, they're athletic. Like you're saying, your mom runs marathons. It's like
Yeah.
there's something good about Australia because
I know. It's all the salty beach water.
mm,
I think, I mean, but and then at the same time, like a lot of, so Australia itself is a massive country, but I can't remember the exact percentage, but most people live around the coastline. So we've got a huge country, but so many people live just on around the outsides on the coastline. But it
mm,
definitely does have, we do have a culture of people being quite friendly, and it's called like mateship.
mm.
And I think that that is a really important part of our culture, is that we're quite neighborly, and we look out for each other. And yeah, I think it's a huge part of Australian culture.
So Australian culture, we got neighborly, we got like a lot of beach activities and
Yeah.
outdoors and sunshine. Like what
And
else?
then
What else?
farming as well. I'd say farming, that's also a
Farming,
huge part of Australia's culture as well. Definitely farming. Um, just trying to think.
kangaroos. I mean, do you see those around there? Is that like a typical thing?
Well, okay, if you live in the city,
Mm,
you're not going to see one, you know, just hopping around.
right.
But recently I went back to my hometown in Armidale in New South Wales, and you drive out of town, and yeah, you definitely see kangaroos.
Oh. And is it Australia a place you're gonna live forever? Is that like your home? And is it a place that
Well,
you always wanted to settle?
yeah, well, obviously I haven't known any different. I've lived here my whole life.
Mm,
And I do, there is something really special about it. Um, Especially growing up in the country, I have a lot of nostalgia of my childhood. And it was just that very quintessential community. You know your neighbors, you walk to school, you walk to the local shop, you know the local, like you go to the pharmacy and you know the pharmacist. You go to the butcher
mhm.
and you know the butcher, and you do that. And even going through school, the cohorts were quite small. It would be a year group would be maybe 20 kids, so you know everyone and you know their parents, and I think that sense of community is has made such an impact on me as an individual. Like now living in the city, I can think back and go, wow, like that was like a fairy tale growing up in
Yeah.
the country. I have so much nostalgia of that. And I think that that would be the life I would want to give to my kids.
Yeah.
Um, Having that sort of more country town regional living. But yeah, I don't know. It's a shame. I think Australia is shifting in ways as well. Um, yeah, I'm not sure if you know too much about like our government, but the guy who's in charge at the moment,
I know a little bit. I know like they're tightening like they're restraining a lot of what you can say there.
yeah. So, and I think that that sort of sentiment has infiltrated our political arena and our country quite a bit. And it's just really disappointing for a country that is based on mateship and
Yeah.
community and no BS. And, you know, we have a lot of bureaucrats and a lot of career politicians who, you know, have never worked an actual job or who've never, you know, been an actual person in a community, but they've worked in government their whole lives. And, you know, a lot of these people are in charge, and it's just really unfortunate that they're in these positions of power. Um, yeah, so it's
Especially when
just,
it's Australia is such a lovely group of people. I've never met an Australian that I didn't get along with. They're just so easy to get along with, and to see like,
oh, that's good.
to see just the government treat their people that way. It's like you can't even win when you're a good, you're a good citizen.
I
You have a good
know,
group of
but
people.
yeah, but the thing is, it's like we have this lousy government, but at the same time, people vote for that.
Yeah, true.
So that's also on, you know, that's also an issue as well.
That's my fear with Poland, where it's like, okay, what about on the next election? Because people start to just want something different, and it's like, don't give up what
I
you
know,
have. What are you doing?
I know, I know, because I think when things start to swing too far one way, the
Mm,
pendulum will swing back the other. And, you know, I think when it comes to that kind of thing, politics and things like that, you know, we get so anxious and like, oh, this is horrible. It's literally the worst thing that's happened. But, you know, you look all throughout history,
yeah,
this isn't anything new. You know, governments abusing power and crappy politicians and lousy people and angry people and protesting. This has been going on since the dawn of time. So it's nothing new. Um,
preach it.
but
It's
yeah,
refreshing. I can't stand black pilled negative people who are just like everything's doomed.
I
That's why
know,
your
I know.
generation's
And
like the best, because they're like, nope, we're gonna fix it. It's good.
exactly. And I think like just tying back to my account, like that's kind of what I hope to do as well, because I think when I was younger, I would definitely get into that mindset of, yep, the whole world is cooked. Like it's so over for us. There's no point in doing anything. Like it's run by a bunch of corrupt, satanic, evil people. Like we're doomed.
Yeah.
Um, and I would just get into that mentality. But where does that get you? You know, you become bitter, you become anxious, you become socially removed. It's hard to have relationships with people because you're just anxious all the time. And I think that in 2026, if you're conservative minded, if you're traditional, do not go down the black pill route. The best act of resistance to this whole thing going on, be healthy, be fit, be socially connected, have great relationships with people. That is the best act of resistance to that.
Perfectly said. And I think that's their worst nightmare,
Yeah.
because they want you to feel like there is no hope.
Exactly. And I think, you know, you can't corrupt someone who doesn't corrupt themselves. If you're accountable, if you eat well, if you have great relationships, if you have good values, you stick by them, you're curious, you question things, you cannot be controlled. You cannot be corrupted. So, yeah.
I think that's a great place to leave it. Great
Yeah.
message, and a wise woman
Thanks.
for her age.
Thank you.
Yeah, I really appreciate you coming on and making the time.
Thank you for having me. This has been
Yeah,
such a pleasure.
Awesome. And maybe we'll have you back when the book's out
Yes.
so we
Oh,
could
yes.
talk
Now
about it.
this is giving me a reason to get hustling on that.
There you
So,
go. And then
but
we'll get you on a
yeah,
book
no.
tour.
Yes. Okay. No, I need to lock in and I need to do that.
Perfect. All right. Well, Beatrice, thank you so much, guys. Go follow her. Her page is
Oh, thank you.
um, based plate girl, right? On
Yes.
Instagram. I'll
Yeah.
have the link down below as well.
Oh,
And
great.
if there's any closing words you want to say on the end here,
All right. Let me try and think of, I think of things on the spot, so
there you go.
this is coming through authentically. My final closing message to people would be eat real food as much as you can. Try and eat less food out of a packet. Tell the people around you that you love them. Take a deep breath, and we're not doomed. Things are okay. Just be healthy, exercise, eat well, and that will address any mental issues that you might have.
And get plenty of sleep.
Oh, 100%. We didn't really touch much on the sleep, but
It's all
that
good.
is,
Yeah, that all
yeah.
ties in. That all ties in. If you
Oh,
guys eat well, take care
agreed.
of yourself, you're gonna sleep well at night.
You 100% will, and that rest is so important for your brain as well. And reducing the likelihood of any chronic disease and stuff. You got to get the sleep and the diet and the exercise in check.
Okay, this has been great, guys. Go follow down below, follow her page, and thank you so much. You have a great one.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Bye.